Hello everyone, how are you? We are going to see where to stay in Fortaleza, what are the best neighborhoods and beaches to stay at, and tips on hotels and inns located in the best spots to stay in Fortaleza. The two main areas to stay in Fortaleza are the Beira Mar region, which is the central waterfront of Fortaleza, where the central beaches and the largest number of hotels are located, and also the most touristy area of the city. And Praia do Futuro, which is the most frequented beach for swimming, where there are large beach huts, that are mega complexes, and also where the hotels with the greatest leisure infrastructure are located. These 13 numbers here on the map represent hotels and inns that we will discuss throughout the video. And there are options for all types of travelers and travel budgets. The links to these hotels and inns are in the video description and also in the first comment. And we will start with the Beira Mar region, which is the main tourist area here in Fortaleza. So Beira Mar is roughly this area here, you see, which is along the Beira Mar Avenue here in Fortaleza. There are three neighborhoods in this region. So Meireles, Iracema, and Mucuripe, that's roughly how they are divided. And it's the urban area of Fortaleza. It's an upscale area, not only touristy, but also residential, with the largest hotel infrastructure in Fortaleza. But here, the hotels are more urban and offer less leisure infrastructure, usually smaller pools. And many of them don't even have leisure facilities. It's more about accommodation for you to sleep and save money. And here there is also a wide infrastructure of commerce, services, bars, and restaurants. The nice thing about Beira Mar is that it was revitalized around 2022. So this whole area is very beautiful. It's a coastline that ranks among the most beautiful in Brazil. So it was revitalized with a boardwalk, bike path, kiosks, and many dining options. It's an area that is also quite safe for walking during the day and at night. So it's a really nice region to stay in. The beaches here aren't so great for swimming, but if the goal of your trip is to take tours, explore the surroundings of Fortaleza, and at night have various dining options, or walk along the boardwalk, certainly Beira Mar is the best option for you. Let's zoom in a little here, and we'll start with the area of the Beira Mar market. So the Beira Mar market is located at this point here. And all this area around here is the Meireles neighborhood, which is the most upscale neighborhood in Fortaleza. And without a doubt, this region here is the best to stay in Beira Mar and all of Fortaleza. It's an upscale, safe area with numerous options for hotels, restaurants, and bars, right? Let me zoom in a little more here. This region here, look. The Beira Mar market is here, right? Look, it's huge, right? There are about 700 stalls of crafts and also food. The market operates daily starting at 4 p.m., okay? And this whole area here is perhaps the most beautiful after the revitalization. So there's a boardwalk to walk along the beach. Meireles Beach was widened, so the sand strip is broader, with many stalls also to serve the bathers. Here is the nautical pier, thus known as Nautical Beach. Here, this region. Here, look, Beira Mar Avenue. This whole area here became the new boardwalk. So there are many kiosks here on the shore, stalls on the beach. Here there is a skate park. Here, many stalls also in this stretch of Meireles Beach. And the accommodations here, 1 and 2, are right in front of the little market, okay? So a sensational location. The best place to stay in Fortaleza, right? So accommodation, 1 look is still at this point where there are plenty of food places from the little market, right? Which makes things much easier. Accommodation 2 is also here in this stretch of the little market. So an excellent location to stay in Fortaleza. So let's go to accommodation 1, which is the Praiano Hotel, a 4-star hotel, rated 9.2 on Booking. It is one of the highest rated hotels here on Beira Mar in Fortaleza. So the Praiano Hotel, it has a pool and a restaurant on the rooftop, okay? A very beautiful view, see? So there's a view here of Meireles Beach. And here, look, these white roofs here are from the Beira Mar market, okay? So it's a cozy hotel, all right? It has 2 restaurants, including one that offers Italian cuisine and has Neapolitan pizzas. So here is a pool. There's also a restaurant on the rooftop. And here is the Beira Mar market and Meireles Beach. The hotel also has a gelateria, a gym, a sauna. In short, it's one of the main options in this region. The links for you to check prices, see photos, and read guest reviews are in the QR code and also in the video description and the first comment. And now let's go to the second accommodation, which is also in this area, right in front of the market. And it's the Hotel Luzeiros Fortaleza, a hotel rated 8.9 on Booking or 5 stars. So in this area of the Beira Mar market, it's the most luxurious hotel, okay? And let's see some photos. So the hotel, it's an imposing hotel, okay? It has a pool, it has a sauna, and a gym. Look, this is the Beira Mar region, right? Seaside Avenue. This is already the end of the market, so an excellent location. It has a bar, a sauna, and also 2 restaurants, the Luzeiros. So a more luxurious hotel, okay? More cozy for those who want a more comfortable trip, right? And staying here at the main point of Beira Mar in Fortaleza, still in this market area, about 150 meters from the market, but still facing the sea. Look, there's a different option here, which is the landscape residence, which are apartments with hotel services, rating of 8.1 on Booking. So the landscape residence offers 1 or 2 bedroom apartments. The apartments are furnished, including bed linen and towels. The building has leisure facilities, including pools, hot tubs, getting the gym, you need a sauna, and a game room. And the cool thing is that within the complex, there's also a place that functions like a small market with a restaurant, bakery all together, offering breakfast, which you pay separately, as well as lunch and dinner options, all operating within the same complex. The cleaning service is separate, so for an additional cost, you can hire the cleaning and tidying service for your apartment on the days you want. And to wrap up here, this area is still part of the Feirinha region, but a bit further away, about 500 meters from the Feirinha and around 150 meters from the beach. Here, accommodation 4 is located along Avenida da Abolição, so it's a little further into the neighborhood, but it's an area with excellent commercial and service infrastructure, and accommodation 4 is a more economical lodging, right? More towards the interior of the neighborhood for those who want to stay in this excellent location. But, at a more economical price. It's the Villa Park Hotel Fortaleza, a 3-star hotel rated 8.4 on Booking. So, a hotel with an economical proposal, right? It doesn't have leisure infrastructure. It's more of a hotel just for you to have breakfast, and you're staying in this excellent location in Fortaleza. The links for you to check the prices are in the QR code, in the video description, and also in the first comment. And here in this region, near the handicraft fair at Meireles Beach, there are many other options for hotels, right? And in the blog article, we have a very complete list. So here on the blog, tips on where to stay, in the article, where to stay in Fortaleza, this article is really nice because we divided Fortaleza into all the regions, right? And there is a complete list of hotels and inns in each region. There are several topics, right? For each region, see? Here's the one for the Beira Mar Fair. So we explain well what this area of the Beira Mar Fair is like. And here is a complete list of hotels in this region. And the cool thing is that the hotels are sorted by guest review ratings. It includes the distance to the beach, to the Beira Mar Fair. And it also lists the main amenities of each accommodation. For example, pool, restaurant, gym, game room, kids play area, and so on. The amenities are there to make it easier for you to choose an accommodation. And this is not only for the Beira Mar Fair region, but for all the other regions of Fortaleza that we will talk about throughout the video. And the link for you to access the article on the blog is in the QR code and also in the description and the first comment. So going back to the map, we will then go through another region of Beira Mar here, which is the area of Aterro da Praia de Iracema, which is roughly this area here, okay? So here begins the Beira Mar of Fortaleza. The distance from here to the Feirinha region is about 1 kilometer, okay? And it is also a region that, along with the area here of the Beira Mar Feirinha, is the region that gathers the largest number of hotels in Fortaleza. So it's a tourist area, okay, which is located roughly at the border of the Meireles neighborhood and Iracema Beach, okay? So Meireles is over here, Iracema is over here. So the Aterro da Praia de Iracema is a place where the main events in Fortaleza are held. For example, New Year's Eve, beach concerts. The beach here has a very wide stretch of sand, okay? Although the beach here is not as sought after for swimming, like here in Meireles, nor like here at Praia dos Crush, which is here, we'll talk about it later. So this section here is a bit less sought after for swimming, but there are some beach stalls there, and the waterfront here is very busy, okay? Even at night. So it's safe to walk around here. Of course, right, that in the entire Beira Mar area, it's safe to walk. But since Fortaleza is a big city, you always have to be a little careful. So it's an excellent area here for you to move around both to the Feirinha area and here to the Iracema Beach boardwalk, which we will mention later. A little closer here to the center of Fortaleza, okay? So an excellent location to stay as well. The fifth accommodation, which is right here facing the sea, here at the Atero da Praia de Iracema, is the Holiday Inn Fortaleza. A 4-star hotel rated 9 on Booking. Fantastic. And it's a large hotel, okay, with an executive profile. Look, it is right in front of the Atero, which is this area here. Here is the Avenida Beira Mar, and here is the boardwalk, okay? Which is really nice in this section. It has also been revitalized. And the Holiday Inn then has a pool, sauna, gym, game room, and a baby cupboard. It also has a small playroom. It has a bar and 2 restaurants, okay? So an excellent option here in the Atero da Praia de Iracema area, in one of the most central points of Fortaleza's coastline. Still in this area here, now we're going to see a much more economical option, okay? A little further into the neighborhood, okay? At this point here, which is already more integrated into the central region of Fortaleza. So up to this point, we have an area with a lot of buildings, right? Tall buildings. And from here, it's a region that is a mix, right? Both of tall buildings and lower constructions, okay? So the accommodation is a little further from Beira Mar, right from the avenue and the beach. And it's a hostel option, Albergaria hostel, rated 8.1 on Booking. And it's a hostel that offers both private and shared room options, okay? So it's a much more economical accommodation option, see? It has a pool, it also has a bar. Let's take a look at some more photos here. It has a co-working space, a shared kitchen. So it's an economical option here, in this section of Atero da Praia de Iracema. Further into the neighborhood, accommodation 7 is located along Monsenhor on Avenida Monsenhor Tabosa, which is a very commercial area here, okay, in the transition from Meireles to the city center, okay? So this is a really economical option, about 500 meters from the beach, okay? But for those looking for an economical accommodation, it's the Stopway Hotel Fortaleza, rated 9 on Booking. It's a very well-rated hotel, an economical 3-star hotel. So it's a hotel that doesn't have leisure infrastructure, okay? But for those who want accommodation to have breakfast and sleep here in this area, it has a bar, okay? So an economical hotel. So, he says, the links to check prices are in the QR code, in the video description, and in the first comment. And in the blog article, there are more accommodation options. So, yes, here in the Atero da Praia de Iracema area, including many economical options here, okay? And now we are going to move to the boardwalk area of Praia de Iracema, which would be roughly this area here, look. So look, Avenida Beira Mar starts here, okay? So here is the Atero da Praia de Iracema area, here. And from this point, there is a Beira Mar boardwalk, which is the boardwalk of Praia de Iracema. So this region here is more integrated with the center of Fortaleza, which is in this area, and makes the transition from the more modern part of Fortaleza, which is here in Meireles, to a more old and degraded part of Fortaleza, which is the central region. So this entire area here was degraded in recent decades, but it has been undergoing a revitalization process. The waterfront here was also completely revamped recently. The boardwalk is very beautiful here. And this entire region, which has more low-rise and old buildings, is also undergoing revitalization, with hotels emerging and options for nightlife. There is Rua dos Tabajaras here, which has plenty of nightlife options. I will comment on it shortly, okay? So it's a really nice area here. The Ponte dos Ingleses, which is here, was recently revitalized within 2024, 2025. I think the revitalization was completed at the end of 2024. It's really nice as well. And here you have Praia dos Crush, which is one of the most popular spots, which is for going to the beach in the central region of Fortaleza. So it's a busy beach with plenty of stalls to serve the bathers. And the entire boardwalk here, especially this section, is very busy during the day, at night, and especially on weekends. Here is the Espigão da João Cordeiro, which is a breakwater the largest breakwater in the central region of Fortaleza, from where you have a beautiful view of the entire coastline. Let's zoom in here. Then, to show accommodation 8, which is in an excellent location. It's right here, facing the sea, isn't it? Right at the beginning of Avenida Beira Mar, but also next to where the boardwalk of Praia de Iracema begins, right in front of Praia dos Crash, with easy access both to the landfill area and a little further from the Feirinha, as well as to the area of Rua dos Tabajaras, which has nightlife, and also the central region of Fortaleza, which has many cultural and historical attractions. So it's a very good location to explore this area that is being revitalized in Fortaleza. And it's the Hotel Sonata de Iracema, a 4-star boutique-style hotel, rated 8.9 on Booking. So it's one of the best hotels in this area. Look. And look, it has a pool. The pool is right here, facing the Praia dos Crush area. Here is the João Cordeiro Pier. So a really nice area. Look, the Iracema boardwalk starts here, and so does Avenida Beira Mar. So it's a hotel, it has a restaurant, it has a bar, it has a gym. So a good option. Look, it's in a kind of old-style building. Look, the hotel building is at the back. It's this one. But its facade here, right? Its front construction was preserved and restored. So in this area, there are many buildings being restored. So an excellent option here. It also has a sauna. And here at the Hotel Sonata de Iracema, right next to it, look, and kind of attached, there's a little gourmet village with about 4 or 5 dining options. There's pizza, milkshake, coffee shop. So there's this option right next door. But this whole area here has many other dining options. Passing right next to it, lodging number 9 is already in the area of the Iracema Beach boardwalk. Look, just a few steps from the boardwalk. And it's an economical inn that also has an exit to Rua dos Tabajaras. And Rua dos Tabajaras is a street with a vibrant nightlife in Fortaleza. One of the most famous streets in Fortaleza. Here, look, is the Pirata Bar, which is famous for the craziest Monday in the world. In front of the Pirata Bar, let me zoom in here. In front of the Pirata Bar is Lupus Beer, which is a well-known comedy show venue in this area. Here is Estoril, which is a cultural center, and many other options for dining and nightlife in this area. And the entire stretch of the boardwalk that has been revitalized is also the Ponte dos Ingleses. So a sensational location, right? And the 9th accommodation is Posada Fortal Villa Praia. It has a rating of 8 on Booking, so a more reasonable score. So an economical option here in this part of Iracema Beach, right? So here is the Praia dos Crushes. Here is the Ponte dos Ingleses, okay? So a budget in here, in this part that mixes, cultural and historical attractions, and kind of at the beginning there of Beira Mar in Fortaleza. And to finish here, this region of Praia de Iracema, here in the section closer to the boardwalk, there is a very budget-friendly hotel, about 500 to 600 meters from the beach and closer to the central area of Fortaleza, where there are many historical and cultural attractions, right? So here, look, there's the Dragão do Mar Cultural Center, which has various cultural attractions, from a planetarium to theaters, right? Here's the central market of Fortaleza for handicrafts, typical products, and food. Here is the fortress, Our Lady of the Assumption. Here, look, the Estação das Artes Cultural Complex and the Ceará Art Gallery. Here is the Amsetur Handicraft Market. Further here, in this region, further down here, let's take a look, is the José de Alencar Theater. The Metropolitan Cathedral, is located here. So, Hotel 10, being further away from the beach, is a much more economical option. It's the Ibis budget, Fortaleza Praia de Iracema, a 3-star hotel, economical, with a rating of 7.9 on Booking, a reasonable score. And the budget is the standard of the Ibis chain, which has more compact rooms, right? So it has more compact rooms than the regular Ibis, okay? And it's a hotel without leisure infrastructure. It only has a mini convenience store, right? And it also offers breakfast. So a very economical option with compact rooms here in this region is Praia de Iracema. So the links for you to check prices, see photos, and read guest reviews are in the QR code in the video description and in the first comment. And on the blog, there's a larger list of accommodations here in the boardwalk area of Praia de Iracema. And now we're going to accommodation 11, which is still here in the Beira Mar region, right? But here in the Mucuripe neighborhood, okay? So let's zoom in, okay? So this area here, look, is the region of the Beira Mar fair, right? Meireles is here. Here is the Iracema turn. And here is Mucuripe, okay? So these are neighborhoods of Beira Mar, a prime area, modern, with many tall buildings, but a quieter region of Beira Mar, okay? The waterfront here, especially in Mucuripe, is not as beautiful as it is here in Meireles and Iracema. The beach is also not as attractive for swimming, although there are some stalls here, okay? It has calmer seas, so it's good for water sports. Here at the Iracema turn, there are many rocks in the sea, so you can't really enjoy the beach here. Here is the Beira Mar amphitheater, and the Japanese garden is also located around here, as well as the Fortaleza fish market. So the market is here, and you buy fresh fish in stalls. And other stalls prepare the fish for you to eat right away, okay? So, it's really nice too. And accommodation 11, it's more located here, in the interior of the neighborhood. This area here has more hotel options, including the Grand Marquis, which is one of the most luxurious hotels here on Beira Mar, okay? But I found it more interesting to list a hotel here in the interior of the neighborhood, okay? Since this isn't really a region for going to the beach, I think, it doesn't make much difference to stay more in the interior of the neighborhood, because you'll end up moving around a lot, right? To various points in Fortaleza and surrounding areas. So accommodation 11 is a really nice boutique hotel, okay? It's the Poly Boutique Hotel, a 4-star boutique hotel, rated 9 on Booking. Fantastic, okay? So it's a modern boutique hotel, okay? It has a pool. It also has a heated jacuzzi. The spaces are well decorated, cozy, and it has a gym. Its gym is nice. It has a restaurant that serves breakfast and also offers some snacks and appetizers during the day and night. So there's bar service. It also has a small playroom, and it also has a mini convenience store, okay? So it's an interesting option here in Mucuripe, in Fortaleza. And in the blog article, we have a more complete list of hotels in all these areas here along the Beira Mar of Fortaleza. So for example, you see here at Mucuripe Beach, look, there's a more complete listing of accommodations here at Mucuripe Beach. And to finish then, we go to Praia do Futuro, which is the best beach for sea bathing in Fortaleza, okay? So the beach is quite extensive, about 8 kilometers long, but the tourist part here is around 4 or 5 kilometers, okay? So you will be further away from the central region of Fortaleza, but you will be a little closer to Beach Park, okay? And Aquiras, which is a little further down here. Praia do Futuro is famous because it has mega complexes, right, of beach huts. There are dozens of beach huts of all sizes, from mega complexes that include a water park, children's area, comedy shows, live music, to smaller huts, more peaceful for those who want to go to a more tranquil environment. Here at Praia do Futuro, it has the characteristic of not having much commercial and service infrastructure, so most hotels have a larger leisure infrastructure for you to enjoy the hotel and the beach huts. But other than that, there isn't much to do. The neighborhood doesn't have many shops or restaurants. And it's a dangerous neighborhood, okay? So the areas of the beach huts are safe because they have security. So if you stay there at the huts, it's fine. But it's not highly recommended to walk to places far from the beach huts or to walk at night in this area, which is deserted, dark, and unsafe, okay? So if you're going to stay here at Praia do Futuro, the idea is to choose a hotel that has infrastructure for dining and leisure, and also to enjoy the beach huts in front of the hotel. Let's zoom in here. I've listed the 2 best hotels at Praia do Futuro. There are many other options as well. Later, you can take a look if you want at the article on the blog, which has a more complete list. And the 12th hotel is the Gran Mareira Hotel, which is the most luxurious hotel at Praia do Futuro. So it is located facing the sea. There are some huts in front of it, with the best one in this area being Orbita Blue, which is this hut here that offers a more relaxed atmosphere, more for couples, not a mega complex. So let's take a look at accommodation 12, the Gran Mareira Hotel, a 5-star hotel, rated 9 on Booking. A hotel for those who want a more comfortable, luxurious accommodation. It has large adult and children's pools. The pools are heated, okay? So Here is Avenida Beira Mar, right, at Praia do Futuro. And in this area are the beach huts. So the pools here at the Gran Mareira Hotel are very good. And it's a hotel with good infrastructure, you see. It has, right, spacious, well-decorated, cozy environments. It has 2 restaurants, okay? There's a bar and also a tapioca shop. Look, it has a playground. And also a playroom. It has a game room, gym, sauna. So it's a hotel with good infrastructure. And now we are going to see accommodation 13, which is an excellent option here if you want to enjoy Praia do Futuro, which is the Croco Beach Hotel, the hotel of the Croco Beach Hut. The 2 largest and most famous huts at Praia do Futuro are Croco Beach, which is right here, you see, the Croco Beach complex, located about 250 meters from the hotel, which has a water park, a children's area, comedy shows. In short, it's a mega complex, right? And the other one is Chico do Caranguejo, but Chico do Caranguejo is further south here, in an area that doesn't have many hotel options nearby, right? So the nice thing about the Croco Beach Hotel is that it offers free access, right? Guests have free access to the Croco Beach complex, including Croco, right? Which is the water park. They also have free access to the chairs and umbrellas, also from the complex, and a 15% discount on consumption at the Croco Beach complex. There is also free access to comedy shows and no need to pay a cover charge. So there are several benefits here for guests of the Croco Beach Hotel, so it's quite interesting. And it's a 4-star hotel with a rating of 9, right? Very well rated, huh? Yes, on booking. And it's a very cozy hotel, okay? Yes, although it is not very large, it has a restaurant and a gym. It has heated whirlpools and a heated pool, okay? It is well rated by guests. Guests speak very highly of it. It also has a playroom, a sauna, and a bar. And the biggest benefit is precisely that the Croco Beach complex is an extension of the hotel, right? You can enjoy the entire Croco Beach complex during your stay. There are more hotels here at Praia do Futuro, including Villa Gale, which is the largest hotel in this area. But it's a bit old, right? In need of an update. So over there in the blog article, right? If you come here to Praia do Futuro, you'll find, right, a larger listing of hotels and inns in this area. So this was the video where to stay in Fortaleza. I hope you liked it. So if you want more information about the hotels and inns, check out the article on the blog. The links are in the QR codes that appeared on the screen and also in the video description and the first comment. And a hug. See you in the next video.